And I asked the nurse, I'm like, do you think it's the flu? She actually said, you know what, I think I had similar symptoms when I had COVID. And I was like, oh, but I'm triple vaxxed. And she was like, yeah, but I was triple vaxxed too. So when you go to a boarding school, I go to the Wilson Northampton School out in East Hampton, Massachusetts. When you go to a boarding school, they have long breaks. We had a March break between, I don't know, but it was over 2 weeks, and kids just really kids have a lot of fun. What also happens is usually, at least for me, pretty much every break I've come back from, I've gotten some sort of sickness. First break, actually not even the first break, you know what, when I showed up to school, I had this weird cold for probably the entire month of September. It was just terrible. Christmas break, I got COVID for the first time, but I didn't really get COVID. I got COVID, but I wasn't sick, so I guess it was COVID. But I got COVID, and then March break, I got this. And that's why I can't talk, because I still got this congestion. Ugh, that was gross. I don't know why. I'd say everyone's bringing in foreign germs, just everywhere. Just people are from all over, and you have a lot of different germs coming in, and not just from different countries, from different areas, different parts of the country. It's not good because no one likes being sick, and this has really killed me the last week. I come back from break Monday. Monday's totally chill. Go to dinner, see people, it's a breeze. Tuesday is when it just absolutely hit the fan. Because Tuesday night, it was like a brick wall hit me. Out of nowhere, I just started shivering. I started sweating. I seriously couldn't believe it because I had no symptoms leading up to it. None at all. Tuesday was a golf day. I was trying to make the golf team for the spring. Day in the range, it was a lot of fun. But then at night, I just get brick walled by this, I don't know. I thought it was the flu at first. But in my mind, I was like, there's no way this is COVID. I was like, this must be the flu. So Wednesday rolls around, and by the way, all this is a little higher stakes for me because coming into the spring, I did not want to play lacrosse. I played 4 years at middle and high school. I just wasn't committed to playing this year, and I didn't want to play. But golf was an awesome alternative. So Wednesday's the big tryout day, and I'm not a great golfer. I wasn't, well, I was going to say it wasn't a guarantee, but it's more like it would have been a long shot to make the team. So then Tuesday night, I'm completely out of it. I go to bed at 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock. For some people, they might be like, 9 o'clock? Like, what? What do you mean 9 o'clock? It's bedtime. If it is, good for you, I guess. But 9 o'clock is probably the earliest I've gone to bed since I was 4, maybe 7. I can't even remember. Even days where I'd have to wake up at 4 o'clock, I wouldn't go to bed at 9 o'clock. So I went to bed at 9, and I woke up a bunch of times in the night. It was just terrible. So I wake up Wednesday morning, and I'm feeling bad, but not as bad. So I lose the shivering in the morning, but I get something probably worse. I call them, I've never had this before, by the way, and any flu, any illness I've ever got, I had this feeling in my legs, and it felt like I had maxed out on squats. They were that dead. It was, I couldn't believe it. It was crazy. I'd stand up, Well, actually, it really hit me when I got out. I jumped out of bed, and I landed on the ground. I was like, oh my gosh, wow. Wow. So I got up, I went to school. It was pretty rough all day. Now, I know what people are thinking. Now, why would you go to school if you're sick? And it's because 2 reasons. I needed to make the golf team, and 2, I already had COVID. And I'm triple vaxxed, so to me it was a no-brainer. And I didn't feel, it was weird. I had the fevers and chills, but I didn't feel like the usual flu. Like, it didn't feel like a body aches, out of commission. I could still function. It was just brutal. So I go through the day, I go to golf tryouts, I shoot a terrible score, I get cut from the team, I go back to my room, I sit down, my legs are feeling terrible, and then I start shivering again. And I'm like, oh my god. So I go to bed again early, and now it's Thursday morning, and I finally decide, you know what? I'm going to health and wellness. I'm doing it. So I went to health and wellness, and I just told him, I was like, listen, I think I got the flu. It's pretty bad. You know, whatever, test me, like, do all that stuff. So they took my temperature, it was 100 degrees, which mid-range fever. And I asked the nurse, I'm like, do you think it's the flu? And she actually said, you know what, I think I had similar symptoms when I had COVID. And I was like, oh, but I'm triple vaxxed. And she was like, yeah, but I was triple vaxxed too. And that's when I was like, oh my god. I might have just infected my whole entire school with COVID. Yikes. You go through the tests. First off, the flu one. Up the nose. COVID. Up the nose. Flu, negative. COVID, negative. Then they take a PCR COVID. They send it off. Gotta wait a day. So they put me in the quarantine dorm again. So I've been there more times than probably most people at the school. The PCR comes back negative too. So now I'm kind of like, so you know, I do the little internet. That was so creepy. I looked up the symptoms, and it's interesting too, because what the nurse told me was that she thought it was just, it was actually really funny how she said it. I was like, so I don't have COVID. She's like, no. I don't have the flu, and she's like, no. I was like, so what do I have? And she's like, oh, I think you have a cold. And I was like, a cold? Are you joking? And she's like, well, actually, it could be just another coronavirus. It's not COVID-19. I was like, oh, okay. So it's just some sort of other weird disease, illness that I've never got. Especially now that no one wears masks, including me. I feel like you can just pick stuff up from everywhere. So Saturday night, I'm filming this video. I still have this congestion. Today's the first day I've really felt better, which is great. If you guys are wondering why I just spent that whole time telling this story, it's for a couple reasons. Number one, it's because I've been out of commission all week, and I haven't had time to make a video. Number two, kind of like a story time. I've never done one, but I really like the podcast we've been doing. I'll link it somewhere if you want to check it out. But I like the story time stuff, so I thought it would be just fun. I'm back at school. This is the photo lab. I'm gonna do a lot of videos from here, guys. I'm thinking, I just had the biggest brain cramp of all time right there. What I was gonna say is we're gonna be putting videos out from here. I've talked about it on the live stream, but never an official video. At some point we'll do the Beantown Angler Awards. It kind of got messed up though, just because I forgot my hard drive. Alright guys, thanks for listening to that story. I'll see you guys next week. We're gonna get back to fishing. I feel like we haven't fished in forever. So we gotta get back to it, get back to this channel's roots. It is a fishing channel. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next week. Avoid the cold. Thanks for watching.